We're gonna teach him a
Time for our
lesson.
continuing adventures in ruining R&D's budget.
Clearly, Zanzo needs guidance.
He never understood Roxanne's vision for Vandelay. Went along with Kale's demands as long as he got what he wanted. Glad I don't live here.
Anyone could say that, Chai.
Life
Yeah.
is ruining the company's legacy.
Also, kind of the least sympathetic thing when you're talking to someone who's like has genuine investment in a company and wants to see it better, rather than just be like, I quit.
You know, I've heard that there's people that have that, but I've never experienced it myself.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's like with what Macaron is constantly like going on about with like the kind of the old days back when like it was Roxanne who was in charge of the company and not her dickhead son, is like, yeah, like if that was a really good working environment, I could, and it was like a very long time that you were like getting to thrive in that, I can see like how difficult it would be to look at how bad the situation has changed that you just want to jump ship. Because yeah, in a lot of cases it's like, if your job is shit, fucking quit your job, find another. Which I know also has the other caveat of like, yeah, but what other job can I find?
Yeah, the answer to that is always like, well, that's easy for you to say.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also still not worth like having to suffer a job you don't like. Like, even if you can't find even if you're not able to like find the better alternative immediately after. Plus, it's like, if Macaron did decide the smart thing to do was to just leave, I don't think it would be like difficult for him to find like a similar position at another startup. He's got the experience.
Depends if they've got him under non-compete, because that can keep you out of the game for years at a time.
Oh yeah, that's true. And considering that this is modern Vandelay, they would probably have like some insane non-compete clause that is like until like the termination of one's life expectancy.
Yeah, decades.
It basically be as long as copyright law, how long it takes to expire.
Yeah, 70 years plus,
Yeah.
till you die or whatever it is.
Anyway, this was actually a very interesting exchange that I did not like think about being in this game until like I talked to this Oscar multiple times and found, oh yeah, you could get a little scene of Macaron talking with them and just having a good old time reminiscing and promising him, hey, I'm gonna clean this company up, we're gonna make it like the old days. Sponsored by Mimosa Sparkling Water.
Whatever the problem is, it's most definitely not your superior's fault. Realize the problem lies within yourself.
Yeah.
That is only barely satire for some companies I've worked at.
That is too real. Absolutely. Alright. Now we're gonna get the rhythm assist, beat hits for Macaron. So now we've got his jam combo routes all the way open. Which, as you'll find, when you use like the jam combo with Macaron on the ground, it'll launch the enemy into the air, but like not as high as it does with Peppermint. But if you do a jam combo with Macaron in the air, it will just spike the enemy straight to the ground.
Oh, cool.
So that's where I was talking about with the rhythm assist effects change a lot depending on character.
You bet I do.
So now this is where the majority of Zanzo's budget is gonna get drained as he tries to wow us.
Gift basket. Also, wow, I thought you would be bigger.
Also, please be excited for the gift basket and Tiny Zanzo.
Yeah, never mind a gift basket. At the rate he's draining money, you'd be lucky if he gets a Kit Kat. Like one Kit Kat.
Zanzo fly too close to the sun.
Oh yeah. The funny thing too is just how it's like the gift basket is just the reasoning behind like why that's even a thing is that it is so very clearly Zanzo's idea, but you can tell based on his ego, it's not out of like a feeling of being like, I really appreciate all of my test subjects for proving that my designs work. It's more like just the most like simple placation of like all the suffering that these subjects have to go through and fooling them into thinking that their contribution was appreciated.
We can't offer you hazard pay, so instead, how about a personal pan pizza?
Yeah, that's basically what the idea is, because the last thing they'd ever want to do is like pay their test subjects money, especially when they're robots and they could just build new ones. So really, this is just like a big like company with like a workforce in the 1,000, where the only people that have to get paid anything are the 6 executives in charge.
Give us more notice.
And at what point were you radicalized?
Definitely this decade. To be fair, I think we all kind of were.
Yeah. Again, legally, I don't think I'm allowed to make any jokes about this.
I mean, whatever. None of us have made any actual, like, none of us have taken any actual action physically, so.
Yeah.
One thing that is actually nice when dealing with like the Elite Series enemies that have the Z shielding is that even if like you are using like Macaron summons to like, or even any and all summons to like try and like deal damage to Z shielding and it doesn't break it, it still has an impact on their stun gauge. So yeah, you kind of saw it there. It was like partially close to filled even before the shield itself was destroyed. That doesn't necessarily mean that if the stun gauge was filled that you're able to suddenly juggle them and put them into a combo. Like, you still have to, like, get rid of the shield beforehand. It's just a nice extra bonus where, like, if you get rid of the shield at that point, you know that you can immediately, like, stun lock them into a regular combo. So many edits I had to try and sneakily like put in here that are probably obvious if you look very close, because so much lava damage was taken.
Oh,
there is a Wall of Fame achievement in this mission where you have to parry the falling lava balls.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were doing that.
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, it's fortunately not a very large amount. Like, you basically only have to parry 5 of them. And there are enemy encounters, unsurprisingly, where that is also a recurring hazard. It's just safer and more reliable for me to do it during these non-combat segments.
Also, I swear to God he was doing the torture dance from JoJo Part 5.
I mean, yes, you're not wrong.
Also, I called him Kakyoin earlier. Forgot everyone's food name. I should have been calling him Cookie Yoin.
Oh, yeah. True. I mean, even then, there's already, yeah, because, like, I do like how there's all, like, the different food names, and you can tell, like, what the category of food name is based on if the character's good or evil. No, gift basket! Fuck you, Zanzo!
My exotic butters!
But yeah, obviously, the good guys have very sweet food names. The villains obviously have names like Kale and Mimosa. Zanzo, I would not be surprised, is one.
Yeah, I'll need to check what his name actually means, because it's not bringing anything to mind.
Yeah. Like, at the very least, I can't help but feel like with some of them that they would sound like something that would be like very weird exotic tea flavors. Or stuff that is like super fancy and more expensive than it's supposed to. Like Roquefort sounds like a made-up tea flavor.
Roquefort's a cheese. I know that.
Okay, then I guess that makes more sense.
Corsica, I think, is also a tea.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Zanzo is likely referring to Sanzo, a type/brand of sparkling water.
Ah. Yeah, so
sense.
there you go. I mean, regardless of whether you knew what all the names were in reference to, I mean, they fit the characters.
Yep.
Now we just gotta survive the falling magma.
Even the money's draining on the budget. Draining on the beat.
Yep, and Oh, you start to feel bad for the programmers having to work like this. Now even he's thrown into the simulation.
I think I saw an episode of Rick and Morty like this.
Power through it, little guy.
And this is the point where, because of the amount of retries I had to go through, it's like I was saving up as much of my reverb gauge as possible just for this final round to try and spend as little time on this final wave. You know, like the Blue Elite series, 2 of them, along with a Brutal. And I just gotta make sure that I shut this dude down as much as I can. And
Nope,
here's where you
none
get
of
to
that.
see this is where you get to see me denying the rhythm parry attack in action. Fuck you, I am not going to take that risk.
Sassy.
Oh yeah. You know, that's actually the better way to look at it. It's not an ass score, it's a sass score.
Oh yeah.
Sass with a little asterisk. Oh yeah. So now we are ready to finish putting the screws to Zanzo once and for all. And who better to bust in, help us bust in, than Macaron? Do it, big guy.
I've wrecked everything you threw at me. Maybe you need a crash course in better design.
Man, even the cat sass in him.
Yeah. Also another pose.
Project. Something with
And another.
creative freedom. A mixture of spectacle and quality.
You can hear his boner rising.
I can feel it. No, wait, never mind.
No. Oh, that is way too on the nose.
Like, seriously, at least make us work for the references.
Peppermint? How's that budget looking?
But honestly, I think it's the final reference that Zanzo gives us will excuse everything about how blatant it all was prior, because it's the most appropriate one to go out on. I'll give you a couple minutes to guess.
Denied.
Defunded.
Defunded?
Little
Rip.
ching sound.
Don't just stand there. Finish him.
Oh, right.
Yeah, kill him in this totally cartoonish video game.
Knock his teeth out.
Go to the experience.
Oh shit, I was kidding.
So yes, we don't get an actual boss fight with Zanzo or his big robot. That's something that I'm actually going to have to preface, where it's like, it does feel a bit weird realizing this so many months after the fact, that, you know, first 2 stages, they ended with boss fights. That seems pretty normal.
Here it is. Right on
We
the
don't get an actual traditional boss fight until, like, the last quarter of the game. And then
Jeez.
we start getting them more from that point on, like, basically
regulation
almost
of
every
mental
stage.
stimuli. They plan for complete mind
Like-
control, just
Like,
I
it's funny, we've been making all the jokes about, like, draining budget and, like, whatever commentary that has to be made about, like, game development. But clearly there had to be cuts made because of budget.
According to this,
The
only
unfortunate
capacities
truth of
all the
things.
bosses.
Are you
Yep.
saying we still
Also,
need-
Zanzo body
There
pillow.
are 6 bosses and
Of
6
course.
passkeys. We've already taken
That's
down
also
2.
part of the gift
There's only
baskets.
4 bosses and 4 passkeys.
Again, these are the sort of things where, like,
Gotta kick some ass.
it's not monetary rewards to the test subjects that go through these things. It's just items to remind you of, aren't I great?
You know all about Spectra, Kale. You're not getting away with it. No one is washing my brain.
You need to find it first.
But you're in my facility surrounded by security. And you. I thought we were done. Yet here you
Ooh,
are.
some previous
Shall I
history.
take them in, sir?
Yes, of course I want you to take them in. Why else would I bring you with
One thing that I really love about Kale's character and how Roger Craig Smith delivers it, when he gets flustered and frustrated by the tiniest thing, he gets so snippy and petulant in just the most believable way ever.
Follow me. All right. Come
So who here's a fan of Number Girl? Whoever wanted to be like Tim Rogers and move to Japan so they could see Number Girl live twice?
I'm gonna say that does not apply to me in any way, shape, or form.
To be fair, me neither. But I'm sure someone at home's a fan of Number Girl and will appreciate this.
You won't get back to the hideout.
Now, if it was Missile Girl Scoot, now we're talking.
Get the pass keys. No time to argue. I'll distract
So instead of a proper boss fight, we get an escape sequence. With something approaching like the most reasonable plan Chai's got, which is he's going to use himself as a diversion.
Well, it had to be good for something.
Yeah, let the smart people get out of there first.
Let the guy who's so dense he's off the atomic scale take all the risks.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this escape sequence has one thing I need to bring up in relation to what I talked about in Track 3, about this game's like very good consistency with its checkpointing and ease of S-ranking fights. Unfortunately, because of how this entire escape needs to be scripted in time with the music, this fight is going to be the one exception to that. When you get to the results screen and you see that it is not what you want, tough shit, the game is already auto-saved. Because it is combined with a cutscene that needs to transition you to the next part of the escape.
Yeah.
Like, this was the sort of thing that led to, when doing, this Let's Play, not only did I know I was going to have to, do a lot of recording footage that would include a lot of restarting the checkpoints, but I would also have to go into, the file explorer on my PC, find the save directory, and make backups, much like I did when I did the Let's Play for Cruelty Squad, if you remember. Because that game is very aggressive with its autosaves.
Yeah. I mean, it's, one of those things if you gotta do what you gotta do, but by the same token, you prefer not to have to do it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's only just for this one, fight where that happens. On the one hand, I am grateful that it doesn't happen, twice or more. But that just makes it more frustrating when it's couldn't you have just designed this whole segment a little bit differently so you could keep that consistency? Because it is otherwise, really good and thoughtful of them in a way where it just, this is the sort of design mentality I want more action game developers to actually take note, especially Platinum.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how bad they are about it.
I can only assume that they'd already done this section by the time they decided, you know what, we're going to be a bit more generous with the checkpoints. And either they completely forgot about it or they just didn't have the time. More likely,
Possibly.
to be honest.
I feel like even just letting the track continue for 2 measures as the results screen is showing up and everything's going in slow-mo, would have still been sufficient.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess it would not be surprising if, there was just things about the technical back end of how it was designed where it's they couldn't do it without having the game go immediately into a cutscene after the game registers all, the enemies as, dead and despawned. Because otherwise, this is another one of those moments where, they are using licensed music and it is to very great effect. This is great, high stakes, get the fuck out of here, chase music. And looks like we're about as home free as we'll get.
Nothing can go wrong from this point on.
Superhero landing.
Pretty rock star move, Chai.
And third best character is here to take us in.
Don't try to
Yes, obviously Corsica. we all know why. We all know her qualifications.
Rockstar? For doing what exactly?
Taking you down.
Is that what this looks like to you? Cause no, you don't have what it takes, kid. Only 1 out of 4, Corsica. It's not a passing grade.
Yeah, Corsica. What's up with
He
that?
knows where the others are.
Don't backtalk the woman with her arm round your throat, buddy. Learned that one the hard way.
Do not backtalk the Scottish woman.
I mean, that one I've learned more than once.
Yeah. But there you go. with the help of obviously like making save backups, this was how I was able to get the all S ranks with no damage. Again, it's like if you don't want to stress too much about getting that purple S, just leaving that final encounter at like an A rank is totally
Are you ready
fine
for
because
another
like the
misadventure
score
try?
average still ultimately is what matters. Like there is no Wall of Fame achievement that requires you to get the purple S rank or no damage or both.
Purely bragging
It's just yeah, like that's for bragging rights. The most it will ever ask of you is to do like just general S rank. And something seems a bit off here.
She,
Why? So good to
Peppermint's
see you.
being bizarrely friendly.
And you were the
Yeah,
star
like
of the show.
did we really do a good job with that plan of ours?
Yeah, I remember blunt force head trauma, and then seen missing for like 3 months.
Look, take a break, lay down. You deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah, this,
But hey, I'm not gonna disagree.
oh well. I mean,
Doubt you need
Yeah.
a hero, but I got some nice upgrades for you.
well, I mean, if we already saved the day, I guess this technically means we're going into the post game. There's always more things to do in the post game.
I'll be honest, I was not expecting this game to be quite as short as it is, but get in, get out, no fuss, no muss. I'm on board with that.
Don't think about the
Yeah, it was a real surprise, but I think that's just because like obviously, like there's one story beat done or whatever. It's like Okami. If you remember how they
boy.
show Orochi as the initial like primary villain, but you beat him a third of the way through, and then you realize there's still the whole rest of Nippon to explore.
Yeah, Okami, a game so in love with endings it had 8 of them.
One for each of Orochi's had. I mean, technically it was more like 3, really.
Yeah. Only a minor
The common joke
exaggeration.
me and everyone always made was that there doesn't need to be an Okami 2. We already got Okami 2 and 3 in the same game.
Yeah.
And somehow, Kamiya still says that he left the story 50% complete. How?
Ooh.
You literally fight a demonic mechanical sphere entity called Yami. It is literally darkness, and you beat him through the power of prayer. What more could you do after that?
His ways are unknown to the likes of us mere mortals, and that terrifies me.
Do not question the mindset of an unemployed man with a Ferrari. He says as he gets into his Ferrari, it goes, "Off to the unemployment center I go." Like, way to show off, you beautiful bastard.
Driving off into the sunset. Sir, it's only 2:45. Then we'll drive slowly.
Also blocked.
Damn it!
Well, yeah, of course he would block us. We talked to him in English.
Ah, fair
You
point.
need them, hero, but
But yeah, just look at all these gears we've got. We could practically buy out everything if we wanted to.
Overabundance.
Yeah. But we're still needing to check, and there it is! Ready for the post-game. Hibiki, my favorite reverb attack.
Kamen Rider.
Hibiki, by the way, was the project code name for Hi-Fi Rush when it started.
Huh.
Like, in fact, you could still see kind of like the name of it, like everywhere. Like, it's technically on like the belt strap that Chai has around his belt. It has the word Hibiki on it right there.
Well, cool.
I believe even like the various like custom guitars you can get for like cosmetics later on is like one of them I believe is referred to as a Hibiki custom. So I think it might even be related to, I don't know, possibly like a Japanese guitar brand. That would make sense if that was the case.
Yeah, probably. Or, like, close enough to...
True, yeah, because, I mean, yeah, fair use is like, what even is that in Japan?
Only applies to Japanese companies. Everyone else can get fucked.
Yeah, it's a real shame, but whatever. yeah, buying some more moves. But it's the sort of thing where like I'm spending so much time like kind of like mulling over if I want to buy them because they are getting into the very tertiary, not that vital, but still kind of nice to have moves.
Yeah.
Like the directional parry, because just regular parry works fine enough as is that you kind of don't need to, that there isn't that much of a benefit to directional parry. Most of what it gives you is just like a brief like couple beats of invulnerability if you pull it off.
Yeah. So I'd rather have and not need than need and not have.
Yeah. But hey, we seem to have gotten quite a lot of vlogs. Haven't missed any up to this point, but there's still a lot of question marks. But I guess that means, you know, sooner or later we're gonna have to go back to those old levels.
Yeah.
Gotta clean up what we had to miss the first time because we didn't have any assist characters.
I'm thinking it's going to be like this Gaia, where the main game is really just the tutorial level, and then you spend the rest of your life going through randomly generated levels. Bold for an action game, but I'm here for it.
See, I'm just waiting for a character action game to take a note from I Divine Cybermancy, and Chai just has to navigate the cycles of guilt.
See, I thought you were going to say take a note from it and be completely incomprehensible.
I mean, it could be both.
Yeah, I'm still here for it.